thanks to these fans here, and I hope you enjoy the vid. Okay, time to do a melee tier list. Okay, first, trench knife. The worst thing in the game. Well, yes, this worst thing in the game. It only costs $100 at only benefit, but it still has the $1,300 for Surge and $1,500 for Inferno, which makes 0 sense. So we're just gonna use the Surge because have fun. Okay, so now we gotta go test this thing out. Over here, we have some enemies. Does 16 damage. It takes very low endurance to use. Its block is very bad against anybody else who also has that. But its endurance is so minimum that it can be lethal against small crowds like that. But it is still terrible against anybody with an actual gun. Like Cargo, you can't do anything. Cargo is just terrible with this. Any rebel, it's just useless. It's not good for anything. So we're gonna have to put it all the way in terrible. Next thing we have up is the knife. Okay, tactical knife, $200. 20 damage, 25 factor damage, 50% penetration, which is pretty good. 21 lunge damage, terrible. This is terrible. Look, lunge penetration 50%, heavy damage 27. Once again, just made like the other gun thing. Terrible. And as we can see here, look, so we have this max. This is terrible. There's no point to use this thing. It doesn't have Inferno. It doesn't have Surge. Like, you can't make it any better than what it is. But we can test it out and go see. As we walk up the stairs here, this is also going to be low. Take very low amount of endurance to use. Only uses 5, and you gain that very quickly. And it does hit pretty quickly, but it does very little damage, being only 20. Just like the other one, it's good for these small 3-player tasks where they have just like a pistol or something. But otherwise, it's pretty terrible. I mean, not very usable at all. So, just like the other one, we're gonna have to put this one right in terrible. Next is one of my personal favorites. Has to be my probably second or third favorite to use in this game is Tomahawk. I think it's a very underrated. It's only $300, but the Inferno and Surge are actually very good on this. Once again, I have every single melee maxed, so it's pretty fun. The prices don't change based on how it's. Don't know why that is, but this makes more sense. So I like using Surge. So that's what we're going to use. Now, time to test it. Okay, we're here. This is a much better gun. Melee, significantly more damage, but still uses very little stamina to use. So it does 46 damage. Surge adds an extra 5 damage. It increases damage by 10%. And just 77 damage there. It is just so much better. As you can see here, it does 23.1 damage, 60 fracture damage, 45% penetration, 70% lunge damage, 70 damage for lunge damage, and the 10% makes it 77. So this is very, very fun to use. It is not as good as some of the best in the game, but it is very usable. It's good if you're on a budget, and it's very fun for just the $300. So, of course, you can find this tier list. I made this custom tier list. So you can. I'm gonna put this as okay, but fun. You could put it in good too, but I'm gonna put it in there just okay, because others are just significantly better when fighting real people and more realistic task. So now we have one of my favorites as well. Not as fun, but it's pretty good. And the thing about this is they will knock people down. So it is slightly better than a tomahawk. It does knock people down. It can. It's very good counters with guns and Glocks like that. It won't really help you in full autos unless you can get that close. But it does knock you down. Has pretty good damage. Once again, level 10. And yeah, we gotta go. I like using this as a surge as well. So time to go test it out. Okay, let's look at the stats before we start this task. 33 damage, 40 damage for fracture damage, 40% penetration. Lunge damage is 25. Lunge fracture damage is 35. Lung penetration is 45. 40 damage for heavy. 50% heavy damage. 50% penetration. And 50 heavy fracture damage. So time to test this thing. This thing is actually funny to watch people get smacked. Get them in the head. Whew. Has very good animations. Same with the tomahawk. Very cool looking right click animations. And it's very good for tasks like this once again. Next on our list is ooh, I almost forgot to rate the last one. We have Bat. This is just, I may have said this was worse earlier. I don't think I need to retract my opinion. Bat is good. It's just good. It's not great. It's good. It does 33 damage. And especially with Surge, makes it very good. Good for opponents. With Glocks, you can actually counter people. Unlike Tomahawk, you really can't. They can just still kill you. You have the knockback. You have the not getting knocked down. If you get a combo, it can be very, very good if you're good at the melee. And yeah, just generally good melee. So back to Roblox. Now we have to look at the katana. This is a lot of people's favorite. I like using this. It's very good. It's level 13. It's very good for actual tasks like Rebel and Vulture. But yeah, it's just significantly better at doing actual tasks, and has pretty good stats. We're actually gonna look at stats this time before. This one is just fun to use Inferno. This for like the animation. You can just use whatever you want if you have it maxed. But let's look at the stats. Stats we got here is 29.4 damage, fracture damage of 56. We should penetration 55%, lunge damage 30%, not 30%, 30 damage, lung fracture damage 60, lung penetration 55, heavy damage 44, heavy fracture damage 40, and heavy penetration 55%. And I didn't do this with other, but let's see. Also uses 5 endurance, very good, This is probably one of the coolest looking ones when you're using it, especially that one. And the purple flames just look insanely good. Now time to go test it out. Okay, now let's test this thing out on real people, or enemies. That was quick, to say the least. This is very good, and it has this nice lunge animation. Very good overall information. We're actually going to go do cargo, because I believe I can do this with cargo. Let's test it out. Okay, we're here at cargo. This on the can, you can't just straight up beat it. It's just a little bit difficult, more difficult than other ones. But overall, not too hard. it's just an overall very good weapon. You can do cargo with it, as you see, pretty easily. But you do want to make sure you hit two at the same time so they get knocked and you get the health back to make sure you don't die. And yeah. So obviously, if you pay attention to tier list, it's obviously not. It's better than good. So I'm gonna have to put this on my recommended slot. Amazing is for things that you are very good, like katana, but I wouldn't use on a daily basis. So that's why it's not going in amazing. Recommended is equal or to amazing, but you can actually use it. So it's very good weapon. Definitely suggest for a beginner. A very good weapon. While we're about to get sledgehammer, katana is also the best for crowd control with such wide radius. So, time to get sledgehammer. Read this up. Okay, guys. Now, this is what I'm going to tell you right now. Sledgehammer is, in my opinion, the easiest thing to beat the boss, to get the render breaker. Yeah. It's just so easy. Like, it's like 15 or it's about 15 headshots or something like that to the head, and it's an insta kill. Like, there's nothing they can do about it. It's just really easy. Uses more endurance than katana or bat or any of these others, but the damage will one tap head with no armor on, with no headgear on. It's just very good for that. So I'm gonna go get render breaker for y'all, and of course do the ambush or other attack cleanup to show y'all how this is. As we walk over here, the damage is 44, fracture penetration 100%, fracture damage 100, penetration 40%, lunge damage 20, lunge fracture damage 50, lunge percent. I cannot talk today. Penetration 40%, heavy damage 50, heavy fracture damage 100, heavy penetration 40%. Modification surge on it. So now we're going to test this on real people. You want to be in first person, easiest to hit headshots, as you'll see here. Okay, that guy's being annoying. And boop! Oh, he blocked it. Wow, it's insane. This is actually, I'm doing terrible right now. One tap. I might actually die. No, I'm just joking. And there's this poor fellow over here who's not having a good time. Or at least about to have a good time. I think this guy's on drugs. And see that right there is why you don't use that melee. It's kind of stupid. I was not playing too well right there. You can obviously do this without 0 damage. I was just a little too cocky, to be honest. Now I'm gonna go get the render breaker for y'all. Okay. We got it. Oh, thank God. Okay. Sorry, I'm a bit rusty. Whew. As you see, I'm not as bad as I looked in the first try. But, that was pretty terrible. Stressful. Okay. Now, to give it a rating. Very, very good for that. As you see, blocks, good. Has a long blocking radius. And actually, I need to test this endurance. It takes 12 compared to Katana's 5, Tomahawk's 5. It's just the endurance is not very good compared to others. But the damage is 1 tap head or 2 tap with armor. And especially against that boss right there. It was just so good. So we're gonna have to put it in my recommended. I would not recommend it for the same task, obviously, as Katana, because that's a group-based task. And these photos are made by me. That's why there's like the little air on it. So, time to go to Spear. This was my first. This was literally my first ever one I grind for. I just loved using it. So, we'll be back when we're above the ground. Okay, we're here. Spear. My first one I got maxed. I think, yeah. I'm pretty sure it's the first one maxed. Don't use that as much anymore, but it's still just a very fun thing to use. It has good range. It has one of the sickest animations. Like, look at this. That's just, chef's kiss right there. Lunge penetration is a 100%. 100%. I just want to test something real quick. Go to modify. You can sell, and does it automatically change? Oh, it does. Oh, so okay. So guys, all these stats are gonna be a little different because wait, what was the one? 34, 32, and then it goes to what? 35.2. Yes, all these things are gonna be a little different. But if you put the same thing, it's about the same. It won't change much. But this is my first like serious melee got maxed, and it's pretty good. 100% lunge penetration, 65 regular penetration, 32 fracture damage, 35.2 regular damage, 30 lunge damage. Heavy is 40 for damage, and heavy penetration is 80%. So we're gonna do test this out. Okay, let's have some fun here. Hello, buddy. Having a nice day. If you hit in the head, you should one tap. That little dot means it's I want to try to get this thing on him. No, come here. Come here, buddy. Ugh, I don't want to try to die doing this though. Fine. This kid forced me to. But it does one tap head. If you hit them in the head with the spear move at the end, you have to aim up like that. And you're just gonna be looking straight up, and that's sort of what you do to hit him in the head. But yeah, I'll show it in cargo as well. Okay, here we go. Yeah, as you can tell, not good cargo. Also, just got actually sprayed, but still, it's just not as good as cargo. It's not as good as weapon as others for cargo, like Katana. That was a bad example, of course, but this can be very good against players. Can. Most of the time, it's not going to be. But it's really fun. You can do like general tasks, be your second for like Rebel, of course. As most of the ones like that, they can all be used for Rebel, Vulture. So yeah, put this one on the tier list. It's gonna have to go in okay but fine. I'm gonna have to put it probably better, but I think they're about even. But his lunge and his penetration are really good, so I'll give him that. Time to my least favorite melee in the entire game. You shall see in a second. It's my least favorite thing in the game. Melee in the game. Great axe. I don't like this thing. It's just never have a fun time with it. It's just not. It's just not. It's just watch. Just watch. Okay. 44 damage with Surge, obviously. 95 damage with Fracture. 80% penetration, which is really good, actually. Lunge damage 30. Lunge penetrate. Fracture damage 100. Lunge penetration 80. Heavy damage 50. Heavy fracture damage 50. 100. Heavy penetration 80%. So we'll go do clean up our. Okay. We're here. I don't know why they're all going outside, but we're here. You shall see. Like, look at that. Like, it's just terrible. Like, it didn't even, like, it just didn't let me even use my moves. Oh my gosh. I really hate this thing. Really awful. Let me try that again now. Okay, let's try that again. That was a user error. More than the actual melee. I still hate this melee. Still my least favorite. Like, it's just so bad. I mean, you can enjoy using it. It's really not that bad. I'm biased towards this. It's just, and I really suck with this as well. But least favorite one in the game. For that reason, I'm going to put it. I feel like this deserves its own tier. It's just. We'll put it at good. No, we can't put it. It doesn't deserve that. Okay, guys. I'm sorry. We're gonna put it at good. But no, we're not doing that. We're putting it at okay. You can definitely have fun with this. It's just not good. It's just so. We're just gonna put it in that. Okay, be done with that. Last but not least, Render Breaker. No matter well, measure. Okay, here we go. Render Breaker. This is very fun to use. This is overall very fun. The animations, noises, just love using it. It's very fun to use. and it's very easy to max out. It's only up to 5. When I mean max out, y'all, this means you get to all the modifications on it. And I'm just gonna get this. It's literally like barely any better, as you can see. Look, that's all it does. It doesn't change any other stat. But this is very good. It's gonna. You can't buy it. You can buy it. It just actually randomly show in the shop for some reason. But damage of I think it's 60 probably raw, right? So 60 damage, 120 fracture damage, 60% penetration, 15 lunge damage. Lunge fracture damage is 25. Lunge penetration 40%. Heavy damage 50. Heavy fracture damage 200. Heavy penetration is 60%. Okay, I have special tasks for this, so I'm gonna head there now. Okay, y'all. After a little intermission here, we have Rebel. I have the gun just so I don't lose the Windbreaker, just in case, because I don't really want to lose them. But I'm gonna do as much as I can without the Windbreaker. Okay, that was pretty simple, right, guys? I thought so. Now we're gonna wait for that to finish, because with all those people being around there, it's very easy for me to just get one tap. Okay, y'all. After repeated attempts of trying to keep getting killed in low player servers, trying to do a simple task, we're just gonna call it a day. And you obviously know where we're gonna put this. We're not gonna put it in recommended because it's the hardest melee to get. We're gonna put this in amazing because it's just amazing. And yeah. As if for the video, go like and subscribe if you want to. And have a good rest of your day.